Hello everyone, a very good morning. Read today's newspaper with me. In this reading, first I will be just glancing through. So whichever is important for the examination, I will just try to highlight, right? In the evening session, we will be explaining in a detailed manner about only those important issues. All right, let's start. Okay. So Odisha gears up to host the world. So Pravasi Bharati Divas, though it may look like an advertisement, but it is important. Pravasi Bharati Divas. So why it started, when it started, this aspect we will be discussing. Next, come to the headlines. So BJP PM votes BJP will continue Delhi's welfare schemes if voted to power, because this is about Delhi election. Just glance it. But the next issue, this is a very important issue for us. 6 years after quota for women at IITs. So very much important. So this we will be discussing this particular issue, right? This we have to discuss. Next, let's scroll up. 3 killed in Coast Guard chopper cast. Okay, it's fine. But very sad thing, but just glance it. So in the context of environment, just pay attention to that. So this is about scheme. Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister, for a gift of metro rail. So whenever if you see any of the statements of the Prime Minister, just pay attention to that. Okay. So next, PM hits out at AP's promise, again headline. Just glance it. Project launched by Prime Minister at joint venture. Okay, again it's a headline. So this one is a continuation, right? Just pay attention to that, because with respect to environment, this particular issue is important for us. So this we have to glance through. We have to pay attention for that. Dense fog covers right. So about Delhi fog, but here we must have, if you have a detailed idea about this particular topic, about whenever winter approaches, right, the pollution levels will increase. So if you understand the basic climate aspect here, then I think once you cover, every time you don't need to cover this particular issue, right? But one time you must cover this particular issue, once at least. One time if you get clarity, then next time is just an update. If you already covered, it's no issue, no problem. But one day we will be covering this particular issue in a detailed manner. So next, so it's an advertisement. Again, with respect to Jharkhand, whenever you see government advertisement, just pay attention to the advertisement, so that we'll come to know what kind of welfare initiatives launched by the governments. Okay. Next, so again, this is with respect to elections in Delhi. Again, just glance it. Just glance the issue. So see this one. So this is about Lebanon's ambassador's visit. So whenever you come across this kind of issue, pay little attention to that, because it is important in the context of international relations. Sometimes you may read, but sometimes at least just see. Even if you just see the headline, you will come to know when the ambassador is visiting India, right? And so when the ambassador is giving an interview, that means like there might be some salience with respect to that, right? Immediately what you should understand in the context of prelims, where Lebanon and the surrounding countries, any seas nearby, that we must. So in the context of prelims, it is also important. So in that context, you have to pay attention for this. See this. Guru Gobind Singh, right? Important issue. Pay like just little information that today I will explain about, like little information about Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Though it might an advertisement from the government said, but there is a salience for that. Again, it's a headline political issue with respect to the state of Karnataka. So Shivkumar away on vacation, Siddharamaya's dinner meet with ministers adds to Congress intrigue. That means, so since the formation of Congress government, we always used to see some kind of subtle political rivalry between these two prominent personalities from Karnataka. So in that context, just pay attention to that enough. But this one, Supreme Court appointment panel to visit Kanduri, meet the level. This is about farmers' protest, right, in Punjab. So in that context, just pay attention, right? Next, see, as I said, Bhubaneswar. Earlier we have seen the advertisement here, President, Prime Minister to attend. So this is definitely important article. We must explain this, right? This also I will explain definitely this. See this one. This also pay attention. Bangladesh government cancel judges training in India. Important. Why? Because so it may strain the relationship a little. So in that context, this is important. This particular issue you need to pay attention to that. Next is about Lalu proposes, Nitish disposes. Again with respect to the state of Bihar, right? Okay. Okay, fine. Next, see this one. It's about country security aspect. See, whenever you see even the small headlines, just pay attention to the 4 persons killed because the issue inventors. We will be having this issue in Jammu and Kashmir. DRG 4 Maoists killed again. Whenever you come across this, just pay attention to that because important in the context of internal security, especially linkages between development and spread of extremism topic. So in that context, you can use this, right? Pay attention to the map. Okay, just pay attention. You no need to read the whole article, but pay attention to that something is happening, right? By the year 2026, the government is planning to completely eliminate Naxalism, right? That's the promise made by the Home Minister of the country. So in that context, just pay attention to the issue. See, on one side, if you clearly observe the articles here, on one side here, Maoists are getting killed. On the other side, see here, tribal ministry say as 52 villages allege forest right violations, right? So that means with respect to tribes, still we have issues. So in that context, we should understand it is all this information we can use in GS paper 1 and GS paper even GS paper 2, social justice, right? In both the contexts we can use this, so pay attention to this. So violation of forest rights, so how it is getting violated, so important aspect, this you have to pay attention, this you just glance it, this particular issue. Okay, see this one again, Assam golden langur, important aspect in the context of environment, right? Just glance it. Next, Modi to virtually inaugurate Jammu Railway Division today. So, about infrastructure development in the UT of Jammu and Kashmir. So, in that context, important issue, pay attention just. See, when it comes to Kerala, Jumbo attack, understood. So, there is all man-animal conflict. So, in that context, important. Again, just glance this one. So let's see the editorials. A journey to visibility. Initiatives like eShram portal, right? Even if you don't have time, just see that the eShram portal initiative. So definitely it is about with respect to employment. At least even if you don't read the whole editorial, at least see the essence portion here, this particular portion, right? And when it comes to, this is opinion, when it comes to this particular editorial, behind this is important, behind jobs data, right? So this we have to glance through, important this one. So this is about new government, new Trump administration will be will be formally coming to power. Recently elections took place. So in that context, just pay attention. If you're already following the issue, just glance it. Because here this is about Indo-US relations. So in this context, once if you read thoroughly, next time you can just update it. So if you are already following the issue properly, it's fine, or else just glance to this particular issue once. This one is about India and USA relationship in that context. So this is about Narayan Guru, right? So from the past few days, the news is surfacing about controversial comments made by the Chief Minister of Kerala. So that's what the opposition, the BJP says, right? So with respect to that, just pay attention. If you already detailedly covered about Narayan Guru, it's not required, or else just pay attention to this particular initiative, this particular issue, sorry. So next, see, when it comes to Ashok Gulati's articles with respect to farmers, pay attention to that, right? Today you might not get, even if you don't get much time to read, but one day you have to discuss in detail about the issue of farmers. So sometimes you may follow Ashok Gulati's articles because he usually covers about agriculture. Okay, so in that context, you just keep in mind about this individual. Next time, suppose for example, suddenly on a given day you are writing some information about agriculture. In that case, if you need to find some good information, then these individuals will be helpful. In that context, you need to remember some prominent scholars. So in that context, you can remember Ashok Gulati. He will be always writing in Indian Express. Next is about again, just pay attention to the next article. Moving past uncertainty, the challenge for 2025 is to street towards progress, stability and sustainability. So the keywords are important here: progress, stability, sustainability. So at least get to know the key, just get an idea about the keywords, because when we speak about sustainable development, right? On one side, when there is a debate between growth and development, so in that context we can use this. So again, with respect to this particular article also, just imagine a trust-based society. Again, just pay attention to the article, right? If you have time, you can go through, but just pay attention to the article. Next, two local BJP leaders killed after truck rams into their car in Odisha. Okay, just again, it's a continuation of the first page headline. 6 years after quota, very much important. Why? Because with respect to women education, especially in the technical side, earlier there used to be very less participation of women in the technical education, especially in IITs. But now with the coming up of this reservation, how the trends got changed. So how it actually empowered women. So in that context, very important this article, you must need to pay attention to this. We will be definitely discussing about this today, this particular article. Next, again, the keyword here is foreign investors, right? They're selling from equities, especially when it comes to economy. Most of the students will be asking me, so we are not getting much clarity. The reason being is lack of conceptual clarity. Understood that? So initially, even if you're not getting any idea, but at least you must see the headlines, right? Why foreign investors are selling their equities? Understood that? So in that context, again see the keywords here: FPIs, foreign portfolio investors. So pay attention to this particular one. When it comes to textile, from the past few days, they are covering about this textile industry, right? Why? Because there is a, I think, as I said, in India Bangladesh relations, Bangladesh, we are the net importers of this textile related raw material from Bangladesh. Bangladesh is very famous for textiles. Okay, so in that context, I feel this issue is important with respect to textile sector, because we can use this information in GS paper 3, in GS paper 3 industry, right? In that context, I feel you need to pay attention to this particular article definitely. So this is about income inequality. Again, in GS paper 3, we will be using this growth versus development. Just pay attention to that, what exactly happened, like income disparity reduced in financial year 2023. Top 10 still holds large share. Important. See the Gini coefficient. Again, conceptual clarity needed here. See, sometimes even if you see the small portions, here also it is important. See here, CCI, Competition Commission of India. At least you must know about the keywords. If you know the keywords, it's fine. Or else, even if it looks like very small information, but here the keyword here is Competition Commission of India. That's the reason. So you need to pay attention. Next is CJA suggests 7 point isn't important. Sorry, Confederation of Indian Industry. CAA. CAA suggests 7 point agenda for employment generation. Important. Again, this one, pay attention. US Federal Reserve President, Mario Ali, right? Pay attention. Even if you don't read the whole article, but pay attention to the headline. Important. Right? So it's an explained thing why 1978 anti-conversion law in Arunachal Pradesh could now be enforced. Right? Even if you don't pay attention to full detail, at least try to know, like, because what can be the reason for this. So we will be just discussing about this article, because with respect to Northeast, we should not only know about it in the context of state security, we should also understand the problems inside the problems, because security of the country is not only protecting it from external side, from external forces, we should also understand it from internally. For example, see for example, in the case of Manipur, right? So pay attention to understand the Northeast. This is important. Okay, drinking and cancer awareness related thing. Just glance it once. Again, this is with respect to see the keyword here is badge engineering. Get to know about the keyword, at least what exactly badge engineering is all about. Understood? Even if you don't read the whole article, at least the keyword here. That's why they also give it in the form of a single quote. Next, see, again, with respect to Ambedkar, right? Recently, controversy erupted. The statements of Home Minister, right, given some kind of discomfort to the opposition leaders with that reason. So now they made it as a political agenda. So how interesting it would be, we have to see in the days ahead. But pay attention. See here, Ambedkar, why blue? In that context, I think it is important. So again, very interesting thing. 2024 in courts. So because all the prominent personalities at one place, so I think you can just pay attention to that. Just read the quotes, right? If any quote, if you felt interesting, you can pick and keep at one place. But always at least see here, Gadkari's quote. A strong opposition good for democracy. Politics is an instrument of socio-economic power. We must work together. Right? So interesting pick for me. If you're in the whole thing, I felt it's a little interesting for me. Right? See here, Chhattisgarh will succeed in eliminating nationalism by 2026. Just pay attention. See, but whenever if you see here, the Supreme Court judge, the safeguards for judicial autonomy must come from within. There should be self-built and those should remain. Just okay. From a sports personality, people used to think she sits and shoots, about a special label person and sports person. So very much important. So just pay attention. Right? So these quotes are important. Okay. Next again, the whole 2024 you can understand through codes. Very important thing. I will get a screenshot of this and I will share it in the group. Next, it's about the world. Just pay attention to any personality. Just read, just see it, right? You don't need to get into full details of it. But again, this is important. South Korea, from the past few days, it is in the news. South Korea, right? So the president was impeached. Okay, so what happened? Just follow, just tap the issue. Something is wrong because he imposed martial law. Because of that, the parliament got angry and he got impeached. What is martial law? Why he imposed? If you just tap the issue over a period of time, you will get clarity, right? On given day, we will explain about it. See, with respect to Bangladesh, if you tap the issue on day-to-day basis, you will come to know 180 million people denied voting rights by Hasina government. That means like something wrong happened. That's the reason people might protested. Okay. Next is this Ukraine. It's keep on happening in it's always in the news. See, this is again important. A little Syrian foreign minister in Doha. Recently, we have seen the rebels that they ousted the ruling president. So, in that context, Meloni meets with Trump at his residence in Florida. In the context of Italy and US relation, just glance it. See, again, with respect to this, I think earlier few days back you might heard about this, the yellow cabs of West Bengal, right? They will be coming to an end. In a similar fashion, Hong Kong cabs. So something is, because here where you can understand this after coming up of these carpooling things. So how the traditional cab sector, right, how it got impacted. So in that context, and not just at the national level, but also at the global level, you must understand this. So in that context, this issue is having some salience. Horoscope, for those who love it. Next, when it comes to sports without a hero and anticlimactic finish, okay, it's about just see the thing. Sometimes important because in 1 year they've asked about the Test Championship. So in that context, just glance it. So that's about sports. Next, about Djokovic, last stand against Father Time. So one of the very prominent personalities with respect to the sport of tennis. So try to know about him. So except that, I feel rest all okay. So that's it in the newspaper. So hardly we can pick up some 7 to 8 issues at max in today's newspaper. So these issues in detail, I will be explaining few issues in today's evening session. All right. Thank you.